Hello, whiskey knowledge junkies. Welcome to WhiskyWhistle. I'm your host, Mark, and this is Whiskey Review number 123. We're back with Signatory Vintage, the independent bottler, the Un-Chillfiltered collection as it's known. And if you watched the previous review, then you'll know that the particular bottles that I had a certain age and distilling date and so on. Today we're looking at Mortlach. Mortlach from Signatory Vintage, the Un-Chillfiltered collection. This was distilled on 1997, June the 2nd, and it was bottled on the 7th of January 2016, matured in hogsheads. I'm pretty sure these were bourbon hogsheads by the way they smell, but they don't specify what that might have been. So actually, well, it would likely have been, as far as my nose is telling me, this is definitely a bourbon. But correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's a bourbon, an ex-hogshead of bourbon. Hogshead, again, about 240 liters of a cask, so a little bigger than the usual barrels used in the US, but they're still in use. Okay. Now, again, a big thank you to the malt shop, in particular to Hungshik, for providing me with these samples. You can see a photo of him filling these bottles, in fact. So thanks again. And also from the malt shop, thank you very much to Pom Kil. He's also always so helpful. And one time when I went in there and I had a cold, he made me a nice kind of a, almost like a hot toddy, but with coffee and just a nice mix that he made for me. We shared a cup of tea not long ago, and he is a very, very interesting and very knowledgeable gentleman. So these two, these are the men who manage the store. Hungshik is the chief manager, Pamjin the assistant. They both do a great job there. All right, let's get on to the nosing of this Mortlach. This is 18 years old, and in fact, this is the first Mortlach I've ever had. So that's good. Now I'm going to save my introduction of the distillery for the time when I do an official bottling. This one I'm focusing on the fact that this is an independent bottling. And the Un-Chillfiltered collection, as I mentioned before, but I'll mention it again, it's 46% ABV. There's no color added, and they are un-chill-filtered, as the name suggests. Okay, let's give that a whiff. Before we smell the Mortlach, we'll have a very short advertisement right there. Welcome back. Mortlach, 18-year-old from Signatory Vintage, the Un-Chillfiltered collection. Let's give it a smell. Very spicy. And yet also quite fruity. And the color-wise, by the way, I brought a little sketchbook here so you can see the color better. So let's have a look at the color of that. Can you get a good sense of it? It's pretty much a straight up golden hue. Nice golden shade. The 17-year-old Kleinlich, which is this one here, a little more lemon yellow in the color. So what am I smelling? I'm smelling some cinnamon this time. Still a little bit herbal. Now, Mortlach is known for being a very heavy, very powerful malt. And I believe it has a nickname, something like the Beast of Speyside. Anyway, more on that when I do an official bottling of Mortlach. A little bit of coconut. Something like coffee grinds. And fruit-wise, more like an unripe plum. It's kind of what I'm smelling. Or, a bit like grape skins. sounding like it's sherry matured, but you know, again, I simply don't know. And if you do know, please leave a comment. I'm pretty sure that that's bourbon, but I don't know. Okay, on to the taste. Cheers, everybody. It's big, it's spicy, it's powerful. It's also very dry. Ooh. That'll take a little while to unravel. You know, interesting. My mouth is telling me that this may actually be sherry matured. Anyway, if you do know, please tell me. Maybe I should have done a little bit more digging to find that information out. Yeah, a little bit more on the dried fruit end on the palate. Still quite dry. More like ripe plums, and yet also grape skins and the skins of plums too. And the finish, very, very heavy. It lingers quite a while, very fruity. There's something a little bit, oh, I can't quite put my finger on it. Quite, well, I don't want to say meaty, but very substantial. If meaty, then something like meat that's been marinated in sweet, kind of a fruity sauce, and then grilled nicely, not overly grilled. And that coconut is quite present also in the palate. And the finish even. Yeah, fairly ripe plums. This is the flavor that I'm getting. Let's put a little bit of water in there. We'll let it mix around a little bit. And while I'm doing that, I'd like to mention yet again about my mustache, which you may have noticed. Yes, it's Movember. However, I am going to be asking my viewers who feel like donating to a good cause to go to A Dram a Day on YouTube or A Dram a Day on Twitter and look for Ben Bowers is his name. Also Facebook, Ben A Dram a Day Bowers, as he's changed his name. He's been reviewing a whiskey a day for the whole year. He'll get up to 366. And he is basically trying to raise money for cancer research. All right, so A Dram a Day, A-D-R-A-M-A-D-A-Y. Have a look there. Follow the links. And if you've got a little bit to spare, even $1 or $2 or £1 or $2, why not donate it? And it'll go for a good cause, and it'll help him reach his goal of £5,000 for the year. Okay? All right. With water now, let's give it a whiff. First, we'll have a very short advertisement right there. Welcome back. Mortlach, 18-year-old from Signatory Vintage, the Un-Chillfiltered collection, with water now. Much fruitier. This is a dead ringer for my favorite big distillery. And I'll leave it at that. You can figure out what that is. You can look back in my records and see which ones I like the most. Yes, it really does smell quite a lot like what I have publicly stated is my favorite big distillery. Very nice, very fruity, and yet a little bit nutty. And spices there as well. Cinnamon, largely cinnamon, excuse me. And the fruits have gotten a lot riper, so very ripe plums. Maybe a bit of peachiness to it, but more on the plummy end of things. Perhaps some sweet grapes. Okay, let's give it a taste. It's moving more to the tropical fruity end of things. Coconuts are still there too. A little bit of cantaloupe, a hint of guava, which is that fresh, very sour taste to it, and then some papaya, which has that kind of almost meatiness, almost melon-like quality that is quite overpowering if you were to put it in a salad. And then finish-wise, very fruity, spicy, more fruit than vanilla here. Really quite nice. I can see why Mortlach is kind of has been geared to be sort of a luxury distillery, a luxury Scotch whiskey, single malt Scotch whiskey. There are not many people who would say that they didn't like this. Quite nice. Yeah, I do like that. And the finish end, again, still very fruity. I think I mentioned that already, but what's trailing out here? There's a tropical nuttiness that's just carrying on, and it goes and goes, and it's really quite nice. So far, compared to the 17-year-old Kleinlich from Signatory Vintage, with its herbal, with its underripe tree fruits, I'm preferring this one. This tropical fruitiness and nuttiness to it. Anyway, put that back so I don't mix things up here. So that's been Mortlach. Now how about a score for this one from the Un-Chillfiltered collection of Signatory Vintage. Mortlach 18-year-old, and I apologize if you hear a little bit of children's voices. They're in the next room playing their hearts out, I think. So Mortlach 18, I'm really quite impressed with this. I believe this is deserving of 90 out of 100. That's the Un-Chillfiltered collection from Signatory Vintage, the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score, 90 out of 100. Okay. Yes, I can see why this is quite the geared, being groomed for greatness. Now, really great having an age statement. I know a lot of the Mortlach lately don't have one, but I'm pretty sure they will in the future once they've got enough stock. Okay? All right, so that's been Mortlach. Don't forget a dram a day, and if you're in Korea, if you're in Seoul especially, I really want you to go to the Malt shop. That's at Seonjeongneung Station. Seonjeongneung Station. Seonjeongneung-yeok. It's very close to there. Look it up, the Malt shop, and I think their website, I believe it's malts.co.kr. I can check that right here for you. Let's see. malts.co.kr. What happens? Yes, that's right. Malts, M-A-L-T-S, .co.kr. Okay, go to their website, and there's contact information there. Let's see. Event. They have lots of events all the time. You scroll down to the bottom. There we are. You got the main phone number. I'll just read it out here. 02-540-2894. And I believe it's exit 4 at Seonjeongneung Station. And if you have trouble finding it, give them a call, 02-540-2894. They're open from 11 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. Monday to Saturday. They're not open on Sunday. And I believe if you can't find it, if you give them a call, probably one of the two gentlemen, either Gil Gil, or the chief manager, Chong Hung-sik Chong, I believe one of them may come and retrieve you. Or they'll give you better directions to get there. But exit 4, Seonjeongneung Station, Seoul, South Korea, that's line 9. Okay, so go check them out. Tell them that you found out about the store from Whiskey Whistle, okay? All right, take care, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.